Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be looking at Public.com and its brokerage site. I wanted to go over Public.com with you all because it looks like it's offering a compelling amount of features, and I also deposited some of my own money into it so we can see exactly how it works. I jumped on to the website. As we can see here, I am on the ETF VOO, which is the S&P 500. We can see over 1 week, the ETF overall has been performing well, and I'm liking the interface so far from what I'm seeing on Public.com. We can see the S&P is finally positive for this year to date, and we can kind of see basically the breakdown of what it's showing. The only thing I would say about Public.com that I'm noticing is we cannot go beyond 5 years unless we want to actually pay more money for it, but I'm not going to do that. And we can see just basically it's pretty clear to read. I like everything that it has here, as well as the top holdings. We can see the average return, what has been month end and quarter end, and we can continue to go down to the very bottom and see all of these other things. But we can see if we want premium access, we actually have to pay for that. As we scroll to the top here, what I'm actually liking is I actually went to Tesla stock right here just to kind of see what the interface would look like. And Alpha is one of their AI generators, and it's actually giving us real-time information here, which is helpful. I like it overall. It's not the best, but it's nice to see something at least. And we can go on 1 month and we can see exactly how that's changing, and we can actually see it by event. So as we go here, right? It changes by event, but we have to unlock for premium. And then we can look at year to date. We can look at 1 year, of course, and then 5 year. Unfortunately, it doesn't go beyond that. A couple of the other metrics, we can see the market cap, revenue, just at a quick glance. And then of course, we can see earnings and financials. It's pretty well rounded in that area. And I also like seeing some of their upcoming earnings information just to go ahead and review. And of course, if we want more, we have to pay for it. We can see an analysis outlook, and then of course some of this is actually blurred out. And then the Tesla options, I actually want to get into this in just a moment, and then we can scroll down to the very bottom. For options trading, I find it very similar to Robinhood, so let's actually dive into this right now. We want to go ahead and let's do 1 month out because that's typically what I like to do. So as of this recording, it is currently May 20th, but it only goes up to May 23rd on this particular one. But let's do 1 month out. Let's go exactly 1 month out, and you can actually see how the breakdown of this is. What's really interesting about this is it's actually pretty clear to read. We can see current price as of market close, and we can see where that amount is going up. We can see open interest, 1 day change to break even, and then the strike price. So let's go ahead and sell out of the money just to kind of see what this would look like. And let's go to this one right here. What's really nice is that it's pretty similar to Robinhood in that it actually is showing you what this is going to look like. And we can see, of course, 1 would cost us that, and let's say we went up to 2, it would show us the breakdown. So it's pretty nice to see. I'm liking the interface so far of it. And one thing I'm actually noticing they're not showing is the rebate that you get here. Unfortunately, that is not shown. I can't show you that part, but there is actually a rebate that you would get from trading options. You can actually see that on the app. And if we come here to explore, we can go, so it looks like it did work here, and we can see that it's just lagging a little bit behind on the interface. And then we can go to strategies, we can see owned. One thing about the website is that it just seems to be a little bit slow in the sense of actually deploying the information to what you want to see. And if we want to go ahead and look at crypto, we actually do have crypto on here. Some of the popular offerings, of course, like Bitcoin, and then we have XRP and some other great ones on their platform. But we're not going to take too much of a deep dive into this, just kind of wanted to go over this really quickly with you. But of course, let's go to Bitcoin just so you can kind of see how this looks. And then the interface kind of changes in the back here, we can see, and then the current price of Bitcoin, as we can see, it's 107,000. If we come here to the very bottom, we can see some news and information about that, but not too much else. So it's pretty basic, nothing to talk about too much in that aspect. Other thing I like is they offer bonds here. We can actually look at what are these bonds giving, the yields in the sense of what are the yields, and then we can see the coupon, the price, and then the maturity date here. This goes out to 2060, which is kind of insane, but we can also see what other bonds are being offered through corporate America. We can see, fractional corporate, we can see fractional treasury. If we want to just click on some of that just to kind of see what that looks like. And then we have treasury, highest yield. We can see right here. I mean, that's just kind of insane that it's even that high. I don't think that's a good thing. And then highest liquidity, we have short term, and then of course speculative. So it's pretty good on that place, and I like it. It's not bad. And then we can look at plans. We can look at investment plans. These are recommendations, and into what we could be investing in. And then of course we can go to stocks and ETFs and see what they are recommending, the top gainers and then top losers. Of course, we always like to look at that. So nice thing too about this is that we also have a treasury account that we can actually go ahead and open right here if we wanted to. This is what it's currently locked in as. I'm not going to do that for this recording, but I just wanted to show you. So now that we are back here onto this page, we are going to go actually look at the bond account here. And the bond account is a little different than the treasury one. We can see it's actually locked in at 6.88. We need to get started with as little as $1,000 so we can understand exactly how much these are paying, and definitely read the disclosures and learn more about what these actually entail. And of course, high yield savings account. I deposited some money into this just to see how it would work. I deposited about $500. I can see my interest has continued to reoccur and the transactions are listed right there. Pretty nice to see. And we have an APY right there of 4.10%. And we can see what it has occurred at and my total interest. So it's not too bad. If we want to come here to the portfolio, actually a pretty clean interface. We can see year to date, right? It shows what that looks like. I'm up $2.15. And then of course, all time, right? And it shows, I would say basic, but it's good information. We can see updates here and then build your portfolio out. And then of course the high yield where we're getting that FDIC insured return right there, accrued interest right there of 30 cents. We can see the APY and we can see the bond account, the treasury account. And then we can also see a watch list right here of some stocks that I put together just for fun and to see exactly how the interface was looking. And then of course we have some tools at the very bottom. But overall, I would say the interface is really good. I'm going to start using them more as a brokerage account and kind of explore how they work and to see if I like them as a replacement for Robinhood. Let me know if you have any more questions about public.com down in the comments below. I hope this video helped all of you guys out. And like always, thank you for supporting the channel and I'll see you in the next one.